Boys, we are starting a new chapter today. That is chapter number 3, and the name of the chapter is Excel, creating a worksheet. So I will show you how to start Microsoft Excel in a computer and how to create a worksheet and also how to work with Microsoft Excel. So now let us see and do it practically. So first I will show you how to start Microsoft Excel. So to start Microsoft Excel, just click on this Start button. So the Start menu open up. Then I scroll down to find Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office is here. So when I click in Microsoft Office, then this list are here. So I simply click on Microsoft Excel. Then the Microsoft Excel workbook is open here. So let's see some of the components of this Microsoft Excel. So this red bar on top is called title bar, and this is file tab, and all these are ribbon tab. This is ribbon tab, and here these three buttons are called quick access toolbar. Then this is the ribbon. Then here this 3 button, window controlled button. Then this is formula bar, and here you have the name box. Then the most important part here is the columns and the rows. So columns are labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. So these are the column heading. And here the rows are marked with this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. These are the row numbers. And you have by default 3 worksheets: sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. You can always increase or decrease, means you can always insert new worksheets here. And this is the scroll bar, up and down, and here left and right. And here you have 3 views of the worksheet. First is normal view, then the page layout view, and page break preview. And the zoom control bar is here. Then finally the last bar is called status bar. So you can check these components on your page 31 of the book, on the page 31 of your computer book. So there all these components are explained in detail. Then on page number 32 there is a subheading which says changing the active cell. So let's see what is active cell, but before that let us learn what is a cell in Excel. A cell is an intersection of each column and row. So these columns and these rows intersections are called the cells. So when I click here, this is a cell, and this is the intersection between column F and the row 5. So column F and the row 5, the intersection is a cell, and the address of this cell is F5. And what is an active cell? An active cell is a cell which has a dark border around it. So this particular cell is having a dark border around it. So this cell is the active cell. And the address of this active cell will be shown on this name box. So changing the active cell is very simple. You can simply click with your mouse cursor. So if I click here, this cell become active cell. This is the intersection of column C and row 4. So the address is C4. So now C4 is the active cell, which also has a dark border around it. There are 2 ways of changing the active cell. One is using the mouse pointer. You click wherever you want to make the cell inactive, or using the keyboard cursor. On the keyboard you have these 4 cursor keys: up, down, left, right. So by using this cursor key, arrow keys on the keyboard, you can also change the active cell. So this is about the active cell. Next we will see how to enter data. Now entering data in the worksheet. Entering data in a worksheet is very easy. Where you want to start entering the data, you have to simply click there. So I click here on cell A1. So I typed here something like this, roll number, then here name. So this is how we enter data. So roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Then name, also we can type like this. So this is how, by typing on the keyboard, we are typing and entering the data. Okay, so I have entered few data here. Then after entering the data, what you need to do is you need to save the worksheet. So to save the worksheet, what you need to do is you have to click on this save button. You have to click on the save button. So when you click on the save button, so here you have to scroll, means you have to find a location where you want to save your file. So I can save either in C drive, D drive, E drive, or other drive, or simply I will save this file on desktop. So I click on desktop, then I type the name of the file here on the file name box. So I give the name of the file as class 6B. So this is the name of the file I have typed. Then what I need to do is simply click on this save button. So click, then this file has been saved and the name of the file is appearing on the title bar, class 6B. Then after saving a worksheet, the next topic is selecting cells. To select cells, we can either use the cursor, the mouse cursor, or the arrow keys on the keyboard. So first let's see how to select a cell. To select this cell A1, I simply click here on this cell. So this is how I select a cell with the help of mouse. Then to select a row, we can simply click with this and select 2 rows here, or if we need to select the whole row, we can simply click on this row heading. So when we click here, this row number 2 is all selected. So clicking on the row heading to select the whole row. Then next, to select a column. So we want to select this column A, roll number. Then this way also we can select, or if we want to select the whole column at once, then we can simply click on the column heading. So when we click on the column heading, then the whole column is selected. So when we put the mouse cursor on the column heading, the mouse cursor or the mouse pointer will change itself to a down arrow. See here, like this. When I put this cursor over this column heading, the mouse cursor changes to a downward pointing arrow, dark arrow, like this. So when we click on the heading, the whole column is selected. Then to select a group of cells, we first select the first group. Here I select these 3 cells here. Then I also need to select another group of cells together. Then we have to press and hold down the control key. So I will press and hold down the control key on the keyboard. Then I can select these 2 cells So here I am selecting 5 different cells at different location. So for this we need to press and hold down the control key, so I can select more cells here like this. So selecting different group of cells. Next topic is editing data in the worksheet. So to edit data in the worksheet, we can double click on the cell containing the data we want to edit. For example, this B1, I want to edit this cell B1, so I double click here. So when I double click, a flashing insertion point appears in the cell. So here I want to add some more text here, names of students. So this way we edit the data or the cells. Or also we can use the arrow keys from the keyboard to move the insertion point. And to remove a character on the left side, we need to press the backspace key, and to remove a character on the right side we can use the delete key. So let's see this. So I double click here. So now I want to delete on the left side, so I'm using the backspace key on the keyboard and deleting this text. Then after finishing the editing, we have to press the enter key. So that's how we can edit the text in the worksheet. Now deleting data. So we can delete Excel data that we no longer need. We can delete the data from a single cell or from several cells at once. Let's see an example here. So we want to delete this roll number 6 and the name Jack. So we select this 2 cells together and I press the delete key. So these 2 data are gone, disappears. Then to deselect cells, we can click anywhere outside. So this is how we delete data in the worksheet. Undoing changes. Excel remembers the last change that we have made to the worksheet. If we do not want to make these changes, we can cancel them using the undo features. So for that we need to click on the undo button. Now let's click on the undo button. So undo button is here on this quick access toolbar. So I click on this undo button, then the deleted data come back. So that means Excel cancels the last change we made to the worksheet. And to reverse the result of using the undo feature, we can again click on the redo button. So let me click on this redo button, then it reverses the result of using the undo features. We can also press Ctrl plus Z keys on the keyboard for undo and Ctrl plus Y shortcut keys on the keyboard to redo the last action. Now moving and copying data. First let us see copying data. So I want to copy this data. For that I have to select all this data. So I have selected the data which I want to copy. Then I go to this copy text button. So after clicking here, I click on the cell where I want to paste the data. So I click here and I click on the paste button. So now the data is copied here. Then let us also see moving data. For moving data, I first have to select these cells which contain the data. Then I click on cut text. So after clicking on that move text, then I click on the cells where I want to paste. So I click here I want to paste, then click on the paste button. So when I click here, data is pasted and it disappears from the original location. So now the difference between moving and copying is like this. When we move data, the data disappears from its original location. Whereas when we copy data, the data appears in both the original and the new locations. Next, changing column width. We may want to adjust the width of the columns for accommodating the data properly. This is especially useful if the data displayed in the cell is too broad to be completely viewed within the standard column width. The default column width of a cell is 8.43 measured in characters. So to change the column width, we have to place the mouse over the right edge of the column heading. So here I will place the mouse over the edge of the column heading. So here, then I will drag the column edge until the gray line displays the column width I want. So I drag, then the column width will display the new width. And also there is a shortcut to do this. It's called auto fit. So for that we need to simply select the column, then we go to home, here ribbon, then we select the format button here, then click on this auto fit column width. So when we click here, this column is automatically adjusted. Still there is another way. We have to simply double click on the border of column here. So here on this column border we have to double click. So when we double click, it will auto fit automatically. Next topic is inserting a row. So for inserting a new row, we have to click, or we have to select the row where we want to insert the new one. So I want to insert a new row here, so I select this row. Then we go to home tab. It is already in the home tab. Then we go to this insert tab and we click on the down arrow. After clicking the insert here in the down arrow, then we select insert sheet rows. So we select this option, insert sheet rows. So the new row is inserted here, and we can add a new name here. And we can readjust these roll numbers. Okay, this is how we insert the new rows. Now inserting a new column. To insert a new column, we have to select on the column where we want to insert the new one. Then again from the home tab we select insert. then insert sheet columns. So the new column is inserted, and we can type the column heading here like this, inserting the new column. Next, deleting a row. So to delete a row, we have to select the row which we want to delete. Then from the Home tab, we click on Delete here. Then we select Delete Sheet Rows. Then these rows will be deleted. And deleting a column. So in the same way, we select the column we want to delete. Then again we click on Delete tab here. Then click on this Delete Sheet Columns. And that column is deleted. Generating a series. So first, number series. To generate number series, we have to enter the first two numbers we want to start the series with. So I type here 1, then 2. Then we have to select both the cells containing the number we have entered. So I'm selecting both the cells. Then we have to position the mouse pointer over the right bottom corner of the last selected cells here. So I position the mouse pointer over the bottom right corner of the last selected cells. Then we have to drag the mouse pointer over the cells we want to include in the series. So drag down the mouse pointer. So this is how we generate a number series. Just like the number series, we can also generate text series. So first we have to enter the text we want to start with. Example, I type here January. Then click on this cell. Then again position the mouse pointer over the right corner of the cell. Then drag the mouse pointer like this. So it generates the text series. Just like numbers and text series, we can also generate the date series. So first I type the date to begin the series. Then select this, click on this right bottom corner, then drag it down like this, generating date series, text series and number series. Next, formatting worksheet. So first, changing the font of data. To change the font of data, we have to select the cells containing the data. So like this I have selected. Then here on this Home tab we have this font box. So from here we can select the font which we want. So I select the font by the name Algerian. So now the font has changed to Algerian. We can select any other font from here. So many are in the list. Like this we can select many fonts are listed here. From all this font we can select any one. Then changing the font size of data. Font size, so here the size font size boxes here, so we can select this is size 16, we can select to 20, then we can select 48, 28, and accordingly we have to increase the column width to make it fit. Or here you have two buttons here, increase font size and decrease font size. We can also click here to increase or decrease the font size. Centering data across columns. To see this, let me insert one row here, then type text here, then we select this and together with this column, then we have to click on this merge and center. So when we click here, these two columns are merged and the data is center aligned. Next, applying bold, italic and underline. So it's very simple. We click the cell which contains the data, so we want to make it bold, we click on this bold button, then underlined if we want to underline it, and if we want to make it italics, just click on this I. Same thing we can apply here. So if we want to make all this data bold, then click on this B, then italics like this. And you should also know the keyboard shortcut for this bold, italics and underline. Control B, bold, Control I, italics, Control plus U, underline. These are the keyboard shortcuts for bold, italics and underline. Next topic is changing the alignment of data. So for alignment, we can do in three different ways, for both horizontally and vertically. So first, to align data horizontally, we have to click on the column, the cells, click here on the column, then we can align center, right align, again center align, left align. This is horizontally. And vertically, we can top align, we can middle align, or we can bottom align. Next, changing the color of cells. To change the color of cells, we select the cells and we click on this fill color, select the color we want, and here we select and fill with another color. Changing the color of data. To change the color of data, select the data, then we click on this font color and select the color which we want, like this. Adding border. So to add border, we have to first select the cells we want to apply the border. So we select all these cells, then from this border tab, we select a style of border, outside borders, like this. Then here, all borders, like this.